Hi guys, Dave with First Place Auto Parts. Thanks for joining me in the shop today. There's an old saying that says money makes the world go round, and if that's true, then it's grease that makes your car go around. Without this slippery substance, there would be parts on your vehicle that would have metal-to-metal contact that would wear out really quickly and your car would come to a grinding halt. Grease is kind of an interesting product. They're not all the same, and they're not all made for the same applications. And beyond that, they don't all get along together. So let's find out more about grease and their applications and what's right for your car. Hey guys, if you like today's video, please consider subscribing to the First Place Auto Parts YouTube channel. We're going to continually be adding new videos every week where we show you how to put new parts on. We take a look at the latest parts that are available, and we go to some pretty cool car guy stuff I'm pretty sure you're going to want to see. The first thing that we need to know about grease is what it's made of. And it's actually a combination of either vegetable or mineral oil mixed with soap. Yeah, soap. Soap is a carrier agent, and when this stuff is emulsified or whipped, we get the product, and it's a semi-solid product that we call grease. Now, grease is broken down into three categories. There's AP, which stands for all-purpose. There's MP, which stands for multi-purpose. And then there's EP grease, which stands for extreme pressure. Okay, there's three classifications of grease. There's also different delivery methods. These tubes right here go in a grease gun, which is great when you're servicing the suspension or anything with a grease zerd on it. A tub of grease is great when you're servicing wheel bearings. You can actually dig the grease out, put it in the palm of your hand, and work that grease into that bearing effectively. And then finally, grease comes in these little squeeze packages, self-contained, which makes it great for when you're trying to apply a little bit of grease to a specific area, like a door hinge. So let's go ahead and take a look at each one of the greases that are in each one of these products to identify what they're made of, what their applications are, and what it means to you. And the first grease we're going to take a look at might look familiar to you if you've done some household work around your place, but it also has automotive applications, and that is white lithium grease. White lithium grease is your friend around your house, whether it's a squeaky door hinge or a sliding drawer roller that just refuses to work properly. White lithium grease is stable up to 370 degrees and is also non-corrosive to the parts that it's used on. And the next grease type we're going to look at is the general purpose grease. Automotive general purpose grease is an amber lithium-based multi-purpose extreme pressure or EP grease that is recommended for use as a general multi-purpose lubricant in light-duty applications as well as automotive chassis and drum brake wheel bearings. General purpose grease is not recommended for use in disc brake wheel bearings due to its 350 degree minimum dropping point. And the next grease we want to look at is multi-vehicle grease. Multi-vehicle high temperature red grease offers superior performance and is a red lithium complex multi-purpose extreme pressure or EP grease for automotive applications and has a 500 degree dropping point. It offers 50% better load wear protection than general purpose grease and is recommended for use in all wheel bearings, chassis, suspension, steering linkages, and universal joints. When you have a choice between general and multi-vehicle, multi-vehicle for basic under chassis components is probably the one you want to go with. It's more durable and offers a higher wear resistance than the traditional general purpose grease. Beyond these three types of grease, there's two other types of grease that we should probably mention. One is marine grease, and the other is high temperature wheel bearing grease. If you own a boat, you're familiar with marine grease. Marine grease is suitable for heavy water use, such as when you back a trailer into the lake or into the ocean to offload your boat, for use in both fresh and salt water, which typically attacks grease in general. Marine grease is designed to withstand water, however, marine grease is not compatible with lithium-based greases such as the general purpose or the multi-purpose grease. And finally is a specialized high-temperature wheel bearing grease. High-temperature wheel bearing grease is a silicone-based grease designed for high-temperature components. It holds stable under high temperature and against the elements. Wheel bearing grease can be used for chassis components as well, but it and traditional chassis grease, such as the multi-purpose grease that we looked at earlier, are not interchangeable. They are not compatible. Okay guys, that was a real quick overview on a very complex subject. If you research grease, you'll realize really how much technology and how specific some of these greases can get. The general rule of thumb is if you stick with general purpose or multi-vehicle grease for your vehicles and keep that in your grease gun and use it religiously, you'll be okay. There are some specific greases that may perform better, such as high temperature wheel grease when it comes time to replacing the rotors on your disc brake cars. However, you can, if you want to use it on your chassis, you have to make sure to flush all the old multi-purpose or general purpose grease out with the high temperature wheel bearing grease. So just know that there's some things that are not compatible. Like I said, with these two right here, you stick with these guys on your vehicle, your ball joints, your tie rod ends, this one with your front wheel bearings, you're okay. There are better choices out there, but just know that these are your go-to guys. Sometimes it's not bad to have multiple grease guns, maybe loaded with each one of these things if you're going to be using it for different things. I have a tractor, a boat, and a car, so each one of my vehicles typically requires something a little different. If I'm greasing the front end loader on my tractor, I use a different grease than what I use on my boat wheel bearings. So maybe keep in mind that there are different types of greases, and instead of trading them out in one grease gun, maybe buy multiple grease guns and load one of these tubes in each one, clearly mark it, and use it for its proper application. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative. Until next time, keep the hammer down and keep it between the guardrails.